Blog Talk Radio.
There are assembled the world's four greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind. There are assembled the world's four greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mikey here at the Man Bat Cave. We're hanging out here. Apparently, it's so nice we played it twice as an intro. And we're just getting the day kicked off. Good morning to everybody here Saturday. And, of course, we're going to be talking about one of our favorite superheroes. He's going to be our topic of the day. So let's just get this out of the way. Green Lantern.
Okay, all right. Place the ring and speak the oath. The oath. Because everybody knows the oath. I, Hal Jordan, do solemnly swear to pledge allegiance to a lantern that I got from a dying purple alien in a swamp. Brightest day, blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's life.
All right, so like I said, today's topic of the day is good old GL.
Dude, whenever he does that, I really wish that my eyes look like that all the damn time. You know, when his eyes start turning green and shit.
That is a really cool, awesome scene in the movie where his eyes focus on the power from the lantern.
I love how he gets mad at first after he says the fake oath, and then he almost storms out of the apartment, and then he turns back. And you automatically know that he's it's go time. Let's do this.
The best part, I pledge allegiance to the lantern. He's trying to
pick my dying purple alien.
Yeah. Like I said, he's the topic today, good old GL. He's, of course, in the Lantern Corps. He's in the Justice League. And he's basically one of the best superheroes, I think, in the history of superheroes. Goes around fighting across the galaxy, just monstrosities against fear and several other things. So, Nathan, why don't you start us off with the fun facts today?
Fun facts?
For the Green Lantern.
Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to John. I think John's got more fun facts than I do today.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Johnny boy, take us away.
First off, the first Green Lantern that ever was appeared in All-American Comics number 16, July 1940. That was Alan Scott.
And just a tidbit, just an interjection. If anybody ever finds that comic or has it in good condition, it's worth about $250,000 at auctions right now through Heritage Auctions and other auctions. So, cha-ching! Yeah, that's the money signs right there. Take care of that baby and do what you can to keep it in good condition.
Put it safe.
That's why I call him the green.
Go ahead. Sorry, John.
Okay. Bill Finger and Martin Nodal. That was the writer and artist for the original Green Lantern.
What do you think they were thinking about when they were making the Green Lantern?
I know, actually. He was in Subway. And,
he was Subway? A Subway or a Subway? The restaurant.
A Subway,
Okay.
I don't think Subway restaurants were back in the 40s.
But what it was he they used to use lanterns, red one, to show that there was someone on there. There was a train on the track, and green to
clear.
show that it was all clear. And that's when he got the idea that we were going to use a guy who got his powers from a lantern, and he went ahead and kept the green because green means go,
Right. What brought the ring into it?
A way to harness the power, I think. I mean, because you can't really carry a lantern around when you fight, and I think he wanted simplicity. And but a ring,
It seems like a good way to harness.
They did it in Captain Planet. Yeah. Captain Planet's bomb.
The main weakness of Alan Scott's ring was wood. Wood. Later on, it was the color yellow, but for him it was wood. That's the only thing that his ring couldn't affect.
Golden Age comics, they kept it wood, but once Silver Age comics came, they changed it to yellow, which imbued fear.
So if you take a piss, or if you have a boner, that's his weakness.
So basically, later on in the series, who is it? Scarecrow becomes a Yellow Lantern, and he embodies fear.
Yeah.
So his strength just becomes
even stronger.
Right. So it's like the things with the lanterns. Whatever powers they have, they get the ring. It just bumps it up. But you gotta think.
Alan Scott was actually, they kept the idea, how he got the idea for the Green Lantern anyways was, the railroad. So Alan Scott actually worked on the railroad, and they were some crime, people, some mugs and stuff were trying to, take care of it, and that's whenever he first imbued the powers of the, the Green Lantern. And he found out then his weakness was wood because one of them used a wooden club on him, and it was the only thing he was unable to affect. And that's how that was discovered.
That's really awesome.
So you mean he could use a shield and the wood would just go right through it, or what?
That's pretty much what I'm assuming. I have not been fortunate enough to actually get to read the entire comic. Only see snippets, but if I could ever get a chance to do that, I think my bonerness would go through the roof. I'm just saying.
Your wood would rise.
A lot of woodies, a lot of boners this morning.
Yeah, well, it's
Morning wood.
Yeah, it's
Saturday morning wood.
Yeah.
But unlike the modern Green Lantern rings, Alan Scott's was not powered by the central battery on Oa.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was powered by a magical force known as the Starheart.
And what is that?
What is the Starheart?
It was basically a energy of, I guess, I'm really not sure
Stars?
exactly.
Something from the stars,
it was
right?
from, the Starheart existed since the beginning of the universe.
Well, what I read on it, it was basically a fiery comet that came down, and it landed in China. There was 3 prophecies about it. The first one was about death, and a lamp maker found it, because the original story wasn't a lantern, it was a lamp.
Mm-hmm. Like Alibaba.
An Aladdin lamp. And his name was a weird name at first. If my memory serves me correctly, it was like Alan Ladd, but that was actually an actor.
What?
And he was like, you can't use my name. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll change it. And they changed it to Alan Scott. And so the lamp maker made it to a lamp, or the lantern, and then he died. The villagers he lived with and stuff, they killed him, thought it was like blasphemy and stuff, that he harnessed that power into a lantern. So they killed him, and then the second prophecy was life, and the lantern found its way into an insane asylum, to an insane person, where they found it as the lamp, and they carved it into the shape of the lantern. And once that was done, that person gained their sanity back, gaining a new life.
Wow.
And then the last prophecy was to imbue power. And when Alan Scott found it, it gave him the knowledge of how to forge a ring for it.
So wait, I'm confused because all the other rings, they find the people, right? So did it find him or did he find it?
Well, he found the lamp.
The initial first one, he found it.
The lamp that was created by,
Okay.
the Chinamen and then the the
Right.
same person.
Right.
And then, so after that, he forged the ring, and then when he was on the train is whenever he accessed the power of the Green Lantern for the first time.
Right.
So that's what I've, heard about it.
Good.
Alan Scott's comics ran until, 1959, when Golden Age comics stopped because of the war. And they needed the paper for the war for some reason.
So they stopped doing Green Lantern comics just basically because of the war.
That was the end of the Golden Age comics.
When did they pick up again afterwards?
At the beginning of Silver Age comics, and that was, I do believe, in 1959.
And was it still the same guy with the red shirt and the white cape?
No. When, in 1959, John Broome and Gil Kane were given a task to reinvent the Green Lantern for the more modern age.
So basically,
Julius Schwartz.
They were just like, you got to reinvent this guy.
Yeah, and make him more
Now.
and, we're coming in with planes and fighter jets and stuff.
Almost 20 years later.
Yeah, so they made him a test pilot.
Which is
how Jordan was born.
Yeah, that's cool. That's right. In the middle of the industrial era, so that fits as a superhero. If you were a pilot, that's more appealing to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with the wars that were going on at that time and everything.
And Hal Jordan first appeared in Showcase number 22, October 1959. And I didn't get to read that one, but I'm pretty sure that it was the origin where he was testing the plane, and all of a sudden it just got whisked away, and he found Abensur dying in his spacecraft.
The one I read, his ship was going down, and the green energy surrounded it, and instead of him crashing, he went to Aventur's already crashed ship.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I read on it. I don't know if that's really how it happened, but with the whole, Justice League movie and, the beginning, and they show that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's right, because they pretty much clear that up too in that.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I've read and from what I've seen in that, I'm assuming that's how it is.
Yeah. And it pretty much stayed like that, right, for a while.
Yeah.
And then let's fast forward to some of the cartoon shows.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of shocking to see a black Green Lantern. Let's talk a little bit about that.
John Stewart.
Yeah, John Stewart.
His first appearance was in Green Lantern Volume 2, number 87, back in December 1971, and through January 1972, it looks like. He was created by Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams, which is a funny story there because back in 1970, they teamed Hal Jordan up with the Green Arrow, and they came out with a very successful, comic series because no, it was when it was Hal Jordan and the Green Arrow, and it was so successful because you got, Hal Jordan, who's kind of like cocky, all on his own, but he's still that police officer for the galaxy, for the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes that very seriously. Like, if you've ever read anything or seen it, he takes that very seriously. Yeah, he has his funny moments, and he does funny stuff, and I love some of the creations he comes up with the ring. But he takes it very seriously, and then you turn around and you have the Green Arrow, who's, like, very in your face, and you're, like, oh, cameras? Oh, yeah, I'm the Green Arrow, And he's very popular, and he doesn't like to hide away from people. He's like, I'm the Green Arrow, what's up? I did this, And it's kind of funny because they kind of had clashing personalities, but it was a very successful comic series.
Yeah. Green Arrow's always been a really fun character, I think.
And it was just funny that, you have Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams who did that and then turned around and made John Smith, or, John Stewart. I don't know why I said Smith, but turned around and...
Not the Matrix.
Yeah. They turned around and created him, to replace Hal, and I don't know if it was necessarily to replace him, but that didn't stick. I mean, they just decided that, well, we're not getting rid of Hal, and we're not getting rid of John. So we're going to have 2 lanterns.
Another fact is that John Stewart was one of DC's first African-American costume-wearing superheroes.
That's really awesome. And you got to think in comic well, I mean, in comic book history, he's one of the first black people to be a superhero. That's cool.
Wearing a costume.
That was back in the 70s.
Right in the middle of that explosion of white versus black, the whole race.
And I think DC was showing where they stood with that.
Which is really awesome. They stood on the right side of the fence.
That's right.
Good. They stood on the good side of the fence on that one. And go DC. Good for you. That's amazing.
Denny O'Neil, you know, Neil Adams, got to give props to you guys. I mean, you didn't care. You made that
right.
That African American, you know, superhero, and not only that, you made him a popular one. Like to this day, still
goes on, and so much so that a few has it been a year already since that movie's come out?
Which one?
The new Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds.
Almost a year, if not a year.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Uh-huh.
Were you satisfied with how the movie came out?
I think I'm going to save that. If you know what I mean?
I liked it.
I like Ryan Reynolds a lot. I mean, Hal Jordan's always been kind of a humorous character, and Ryan Reynolds is just sarcastic and hilarious.
They could not have casted it better.
He embodies Hal Jordan.
As soon as I heard Ryan Reynolds signed on for it, I was that fat, happy kid. Yeah. You know, I immediately was like, that is Hal Jordan. He is the Robert Downey Jr. to Tony Stark. I know we keep going back to that, but that is the perfect example. And Ryan Reynolds, every movie, he has that funny, whippets. He's like, I'm there, face, this is me. And I honestly, Ryan Reynolds, I don't think he has fear at all. I mean, I've seen him do every kind of movie. I've seen him fight vampires. I've seen him move into a crazy house.
Of course, you're talking about Blade.
Blade Trinity. I've seen him do all kinds of stuff. And I've seen him do serious roles, so I know he can be serious.
Did you talk about Amityville Horror?
Yeah, Amityville Horror. He's done so many good movies, and he's probably one of my favorite actors.
And him, unlike Chris Evans, Chris Evans basically just went, oh, hey, Marvel. Yeah. He went Marvel with Deadpool and Green Lantern DC.
And that's cool. Perfectly acceptable in my eyes. And not only was he a perfect Hal Jordan, perfect Deadpool, because Deadpool has that humor as well, in that I can't ever keep my mouth shut, and I'm a hard ass at the same time. And sorry, but Ryan Reynolds has that. I mean, he has that swag of I'm a hard ass. I mean, I'm not,
I'm not going to take any of your shit.
Yeah. And he's subtly,
right.
He's like, that sounds weird coming from me, but
ooh, he's studly.
Like Hal Jordan was supposed to be this real ladies' man, this, every girl wanted him, and pretty much, he was this, alpha male, that all the girls liked, and Ryan Reynolds had that. He was voted Sexiest Man of the Year, and I totally agree with that.
They did a good job casting.
Bam!
So let's talk a little bit about his polar opposite, Sinestro. He, out of DC, he is one of my favorite bad guys. He's up there. You know what I mean?
Is he really a bad guy?
Top 5. Well, you initially see him as a bad guy, and then if you read all the comics, you find out that his whole thought process is for good.
And I love that they put that in the movie.
He looks like Satan.
He's an alien. He comes from another planet. I'm not going to dog on him for how he looks. I mean, look at Kilowog.
Yeah, look at
Marie. I'm not going to make fun of them either. But Sinestro is a hard-ass. I mean, Green Lantern, he was one of the best Green Lanterns there was. He was right up there with Alvin Sir.
Look, we talked about him being good. Why is he fighting Hal Jordan?
Because the Guardians didn't trust him to become the Yellow Lantern. They didn't want him to. They feared it because they knew the effects that the Yellow had on the Green Lanterns. They didn't tell the Green Lanterns. They didn't tell anyone.
In case you guys don't know, Yellow is fear, and then the Green Lantern
it affects the Green Lantern
will. It affects the will
and
of the Green Lantern.
Sinestro took it and he made it his own. And he realized what power it had against the Green Lanterns. And he was like, you tried to keep this from us when we should have been Yellow Lanterns this entire time.
That's basically how it was in the movie. In the comics, it was because Sinestro decided to use the yellow power because the Guardians, he felt the Guardians didn't want to do what was necessary to protect order in the universe.
So you think he kind of just took it in his own hands and was like, you guys aren't going to do anything about it, so I'm going to do something about it.
He broke into the place where they hid the yellow power away and stole it.
Wasn't that on the moon?
No, it was like a pocket dimension.
I knew that.
Now, in the movie, someone was telling me, I know it sounds bad, I haven't been the biggest Green Lantern fan for a long time, but I am
with everyone.
Yeah, right. I am a Lantern fan, though. Like, I delved into it. Like, I read some, like I said, you know me, I'm an older comics guy. Like, I read the older comics. But in the movie, when Sinestro goes to the Fear, whatever he's going to do to go get the Fear, basically,
Right.
you can see there's some sort of, like, symbol in there. Mm-hmm. And someone says that has some kind of significance in the movie. That's related to the Fear Lanterns.
That becomes the symbol to the Green Lanterns itself.
That's what's on the ring.
So the symbol you see is
the symbol
for the Yellow
the
Lantern.
Sinestro Corps, yes.
Ah, I see.
And every lantern ring has its own symbol.
Who do you think, out of every Fear Yellow Lantern, is the strongest ever?
Sinestro.
You don't think Scarecrow is?
No.
You don't think that made him?
No. Sinestro has the power longer. He knows how to wield it more. He was a GL for how long before?
They did have some others. Like, they had one that was like a witch that had magical powers that was Sinestro's second in command. Then they had, like, Composite Superman, who was Cyborg.
But that's my point. They were his second in command. Why was that? I think in all things, if you are stronger than the leader, you become the leader.
If you're a Lantern and you see one of the most powerful Lanterns in your group switch teams, do you follow him?
No. You're a Green Lantern for a reason. You take an oath every time you put that ring on. Every time you say the oath and you charge your battery, you're taking, you're charging up.
Mm-hmm.
You're making an oath, and you made an oath to the Green Lantern, to the Guardians, to the universe that you're going to protect it. And the Sinestro Corps kind of does some dirty stuff on the side, They do a lot of villainous stuff, and that's why they have such a bad rap. But in my eyes, it's 50-50 to them, In the GLs, in, Deep Dark Secrets, they have some deep, dark secrets themselves. And you find that out, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, they just keep revealing more and more. So, Sinestro Corps is 50-50 to me, just like the GLs.
I think I would do it. I think I'd be a Fear Lantern.
You'd leave the Green Lanterns to go to the Sinestro?
Well, I don't think I would leave the Green Lanterns. I think if the ring found me, I'd do it.
Oh, so so what you're saying is that if you could be a Lantern, you'd be Fear Lantern?
Yeah. That's so cool to me, though, to wield the power of fear. You know what I mean? Just take away all the other Lanterns. Just think about having that power. That would be amazing.
I can't. Because there's one that fixes
I gotta be the bad guy.
I gotta be the bad guy. Oh, you think you're the bad guy, but I would be a Red Lantern. And I'm telling you, they are vicious and mean the entire time.
Let's discuss that some. Let's talk about some of the other Lanterns. And you had a point, John. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was going to say that Sinestro, back in the comics before, the whole DC universe was destroyed and then restarted, his ring didn't have any symbol. It was just like a yellow ring, And the way he charged it back then was by capturing the rings of Green Lanterns and destroying them.
So he went through, like every little chink that's on there is something he's destroyed from the Green Lantern Corps.
And back then his costume was black and blue, looked kind of like a jester's outfit, which his yellow outfit's pretty much the same shape, with the triangles on the chest and stuff. It's just became yellow and black instead of blue and black.
And I have to say, in the movie, he looks real awesome in the end.
He looks like a hard ass.
He looks ridiculous.
And,
Well, like I said before we went there, let's talk about some of the other colors of the lantern. Let's go through them all. Let's go real quick. What are the colors? What do they mean?
you know, you got black, death, red, rage, yellow, fear, orange, greed. You got green, which is will. You got violet, which is love. Indigo, which is compassion. Blue, which is hope. And then you got white, which is life. And if I could be any of them, I would be rage. I'd be red all over.
All right, cool. So I'm thinking, you guys have anything else you want to touch on there?
It's pretty self-explanatory on the rings, I think. You know, each lantern has its own special power, right? And its own special thing, like red. They spit like they have blood running out of their mouth. They shoot fire.
They're atrocious.
It's more of like a
body lava. But it can't.
It's like napalm. It'll stick to you.
It can't be put out by anything but a blue lantern, which is awesome.
I think that what's so captivating about the lantern situation is that there's so many of them, and there's so many different lantern options and things you can do as a lantern. If it's certain colors mean certain things. Like in the earlier, well, some of the later comics they have now, there's something where Batman comes back, right? He's a Black Lantern.
No.
It's just for a short stint.
That wasn't really Batman.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't. It was a fake Batman that they buried. And
In Bruce's grave.
In Bruce's grave, yes. But he only came to deliver black rings, and as soon as he did, he went back into the earth.
But can you imagine?
Creepy. That's all
Or
I'm saying.
Superman.
I would poop my pants. I'm just saying, like, seriously.
He's coming back for you, Nathan.
I'm 6'4", 180 pounds, I poop my pants.
Superman was able to keep away from the black ring that came for him, but Wonder Woman did get caught by the black ring and did start zombifying.
Wow.
Because even if you're not dead, if the black ring gets on you, you turn into one of them.
Man, did you imagine seeing a beautiful Amazon turn into a horrifying creature right in front of your eyes?
Like a zombie?
Yeah.
If I've seen Wonder Woman and a zombie,
Still there.
I once again, I would poop my pants and I'd run away. I would crawl up in the fetal position and start crying.
But she was able to be turned back thanks to her love for Wonder Girl.
Oh.
Because,
Her sidekick.
yeah, I think it's more than that. I think it's like her daughter or something. Because she has the same last name.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And she was all Black Lantern, Wonder Woman, and something was happening to Wonder Girl, and she was like, ah, and then a violet ring flew onto her finger, and the black ring just shattered, and she became a Star Sapphire.
Wow. That's an amazing concept, too, because that's what those, the Indigos are the most, you say they're the most powerful of the lanterns, right?
She was violet, which is like love.
Yeah, love. Okay.
And the love for her daughter, you know,
Is what conquered evil,
yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
Love always conquers.
Awesome. Love
That's
always
a good message, folks. Love always conquers. We talked a little bit about that last episode,
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze. But it really didn't conquer in that situation. It kind of
went the other way.
screwed the pooch on that one.
I mean, Red Lanterns probably wouldn't be so bad if Atrocitus wasn't their leader. If Atrocitus
You're going to a place you don't want to go, John.
was pissed off because
Might have the first fight ever on the show.
Yeah, you're about to see it.
Atrocitus was pissed off because his home planet and galaxy was destroyed by the Manhunters when they went crazy.
The Martian Manhunters?
No.
No, the Manhunter machines
They're
that
the Guardians.
the Guardians had before the Green Lantern Corps.
Oh.
They lost control of them, and they destroyed what is now known as the Forbidden Sector,
That's it. I'm moving away from you. I can't sit next to you anymore.
Atrocitus was like...
Well, I mean, what? Why? Explain yourself. It's kind of funny because, you know, we're best friends, you know.
You guys are brothers.
Yeah, and...
There's a relationship. They're brothers.
And it's funny because he's a Green Lantern, I'm a Red Lantern, and we're about to fight. We're about to throw it out.
All right, here we go. This is what we're going to do. Red versus green. You try to state your statement why green is better, and you try to state your statement why
All right.
red is better.
Can we get a bell? Can we get a bell?
So, ding, ding, ding. You start first.
All right. Bing. No answer.
Put you on the spot. Come on.
I mean, Green Lanterns, they're mainly for, like, order, peace, they basically police the galaxy. And the Red Lanterns, they're all about revenge.
Batman's that way, but I don't see you talking about him like that.
Yeah, but he stays within the law.
You need to stay within the law.
Okay. Atrocitus, you think such a bad guy. His home world was destroyed. His family, his friends, all killed. Back to the villainous justification. Who has more right than a man who watches his planet be destroyed? All right, it's with you. You let me finish, GL. Okay. So you got a man who watched it, and out of pure hatred for the people who killed his family, his friends, his planet, out of his anger and rage, created the Red Lanterns. You're talking about a guy who had such strong hate because of his family, his friends, everything being destroyed. He created his own corpse. Boom shakalaka. What did the Guardians do for them? What did they try to do to fix it? Not a damn thing. Oh, we're going to put them off in a secret sector. We're sorry.
They didn't know anyone survived. Atrocitus was the sole survivor.
You think of people who can police the entire universe would be able to find a guy sitting there going, I'm still alive, man. No. They should have been able to find him. They should have been able to fix it. They should have done something. They did nothing. That sparked the rage. Sorry. Rage wins over will.
He's got a good point, man. Your last second rebuttal.
There were no Green Lanterns at that time. It was the Manhunters, and then they went crazy, destroyed the Forgotten Sector, and at that time, the Guardians had no idea that happened until later, and then they were like, oh, shit, they're all gone, there's nothing we can do.
Exactly. So they didn't try anything.
And then when they tried to tell Atrocitus that they didn't send the Manhunters, he was like, yeah, I don't believe you.
Okay, let's try this for an example. Punch the Hulk in the face, okay? Stab Betty, let her die in front of the Hulk, and then go, sorry, dude. Sorry. You've already turned into the Hulk. You're ready to rip my face off, but I'm sorry. No, you do not apologize after you become a raging monster. You do not. Once you become the Red Lantern, the Rage, that is all you think about. Rage is your power. You never calm down.
And
never.
That would mean that you'd probably eventually end up killing somebody.
Okay. As a Red Lantern, they kill.
They blow up planets, enslave planets.
I've got to get on the subject now.
That's fine.
Because they were killing anybody, and I think it's perfect. A little bit projection. Nathan had like fucking 40 Red Bulls. So,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm like 20 minutes of sleep because my brother decided to fucking play with maracas this morning. But,
Maracas?
I got Bryce. Sweat through that.
But George brings up a good point, though.
Okay.
Like, let's start with, like,
I have split personalities, okay?
You're a fan of the Red Lantern.
I love Superman. I love everything he stands for, and if I could be a superhero, I would be him. But me, deep down inside, everyone gets angry, everyone gets mad, and I don't know if I could restrain myself like Superman does. And if I was going to be a Lantern, I would be a Red Lantern. And I think I would be that raging monster, you know. I'm Irish. I got a lot of rage.
Right, so you would be a Red Lantern. John, what kind of lantern would you be?
I I mean, I'd want to be green, but I don't know exactly. I'd probably be like a Star Sapphire, but you know, a male version.
Why do you say that?
Because the reason I normally get angry is because someone I love a lot gets hurt.
Aww. True, but that's good. But what did you just say there? When I get mad.
But that's their MO.
Their MO is love.
Even
they
get angry.
I understand, but you only get that way. You turn into a raging monster when one of your family or someone that you really love gets hurt. You don't turn into someone who has control.
Yeah, like John Lennon or something.
I'm sorry, but when you beat the crap out of a sixth grader until he's a bloody mess, that doesn't sound like a Star Sapphire, buddy.
Low raging.
That sounds like a Red Lantern. I'm sorry.
You
got to remember, when you lose complete control and you beat the crap out of someone, or you want to beat the crap out of someone, and you chase them down, and they just slip your fingers,
look at him, right?
That's the Red Lantern.
Right now,
You gotta know something about the Star Sapphires.
Hmm?
Their love is so strong for a person, it's like, I'll kill you
And they're
because I love you.
They're pink too, right?
They don't want them to suffer. They feel bad for them, right?
No, it's like, if I love you so much, you don't love me, I'm going to kill you then.
Oh, wow. Georgie, what kind of lantern would you be?
So they're pink though, right?
Violet.
Pink.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, Violet's supposed to be more of a between blue and red.
What kind of lantern would you be, Georgie?
What are all the ones against? What are all?
You got Black Death, Red Rage, Orange Greed, Yellow Fear, Green Will, Blue Hope, Indigo, Compassion, Violet, Love, and White Life.
Greed.
Green. I see that. Orange. That's orange. Mine green. Mine. I was like, John was trying to rebuttal it, but he couldn't. He was, yep, no, that's him.
When you put on an orange lantern ring, you know, you don't just breed for physical objects. You also gain an insatiable hunger, and you're always eating.
I have that.
That's George. I think I would try and be a white lantern.
What?
How could you be that though? I mean, like, you just have to be alive in order to be
No.
or what is it?
You basically give life. You believe in life, the power of life.
You
have
believe
a vagina in your fingers.
the will to live.
The way the ring charged when Deadman had the white ring, you know, because he tried doing stuff, and all he could basically do when he had it was fly, and then sometimes the ring would just teleport him across the world to another spot to show him something. But the ring kept telling him, you know, try to charge, you know, to make him charge it is like, live life. It wanted him to live life like he wanted to be alive, you know. But Deadman was dead for so long, he didn't know how to be alive anymore. The first time the ring started charging is when he went to his favorite burger joint and ate a burger. Huh? It went up 1%. Charged 1%.
Wow. Well, those were some good points. That was fun. We'll all be different lanterns, so we would all be beating the crap out of each other.
How was the greed, Chargers?
There is no host.
There's no.
They feed, right? They just feed, basically, off the other lantern.
Yeah, and when the more you're green, the stronger your ring is.
He has a battery, and when, you know, the leaders of all of them, except, you know, Black and White, were trying to find something, you know, they all charged and said their oath, and he was like, you know, and Hal was like, charge your ring, and he's sitting there just hugging his lantern because he doesn't want anybody to take it, and Hal creates a giant hand construct and shoves his face into his lantern, and his ring charges to 1,000% charge.
It's the greed he had for his lantern, I think, because he protected it like an infant, you know, in like a mob.
Wow.
And I remember reading the Christmas special with Agent Orange in it. because he moves to Earth, lives in a junkyard, and starts collecting stuff from all over Earth, saying it's mine, this is mine, this is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hal tells him about Christmas and Santa Claus and all that, and how it's better to give than to receive, And he creates a list for Santa, and then when he doesn't get it, he gets upset and starts hunting down Santas he sees, like, in cities and stuff. And Hal stops him, and he's like, and at the end of the comic, the last thing they show on the list is what he wants more than anything, and that's his wife and kids back.
Oh. See, there's a lot of feelings with the Lanterns, and I think that's another thing that people embrace with it. Like, there's so much feelings, and like rage, love, hate, fear, hope. You know what I mean? Those are all just, it embraces the aspects of life.
Every emotional aspect of a person.
All right, well, I think our friend's waking up, so I think it's time we feed him, take a little break, get something to drink, calm down, Red Lantern.
Yeah, I'm getting for a man.
But, that was a good topic. Let's feed him.
Who won? Who won the fight?
You guys both had good points. I mean, I can really pick one.
Setter and GL wins.
Red Lantern, we're going to get man back going because we got to get him calmed down.
I think I could take him right now.
We'll talk to you guys in a little bit. I bet you have. You have like 20 Red Bulls. What's up, guys? Nathan just beat the Man-Bat into unconsciousness.
Good shot off of Red Lantern.
He's knocked out. He's not even sleeping this time.
Red Bull gives you wings.
So we're going to move on to one of my favorite segments of the day, and it's hosted by our good friend here, Georgie Phillips.
Georgie boy.
So we're going to move right on into that.
This is Noob News with George the Flash Phillips.
Take it away, Georgie.
All right, guys, how's it going this morning?
Pretty good, pretty good. Fucking tired.
I wasn't talking to you guys. I'm sorry.
Fine. We don't love you either.
All right, fine. Talk to them.
All right. Well, see, it's very early in the morning. For those of you that are actually tuned in right now, I am very thankful. I believe we all are.
Rockets.
And, yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into it. I have a few questions about the Green Lantern. I know a little bit. I've been learning as I've been going along, so I'm just trying to think of some questions that, everybody else might think of, or, just some stupid-ass questions that I have personally. And, yeah, once again, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to call in or get on the old Facebook.
Got it up.
Your
Questions on Facebook. We said call in.
Yeah, just anything you guys want to do, but if you guys are even awake right now, but yeah. Let's just go ahead and get to it. Who do you guys believe is the best villain in all of the Lanterns?
Oh, are you talking to us now? I think we should start with part 2 and work our way around. I think we're going to have 3 different opinions on this.
Okay. I would probably have to say, I can't think of his name, the T-Rex, Greed.
Agent Orange?
Yeah. His name is, I've never been able to pronounce it correctly. Barbarous or something.
Yeah, I think that him, you look at him and he embodies the essence of a bad guy. Like, he's greedy, he's gnarly looking, and he wants everything. He's mine, 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 mine. And he basically has the attitude to where he's consumed so much by greed that he wants everything, that his desire for greed is what fuels him more to being more of an awesome bad guy.
And his corpse isn't even an actual living corpse. His core.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only living member of his core. All the rest of them are constructs of people he's killed and stole their identity of. He's so greedy, he steals people's identities and makes them Orange Lantern constructs for his core.
Look at that. Bam.
Which proves that he's very, very very powerful because not only can he fight on par with pretty much any of the other leaders of the Corps, but also in other parts, his constructs can make constructs and fight.
Wow.
So
Amazing. I didn't know
and
that.
I love how, like, you know, John brought it up earlier that, you know, Hal pushes his face into the lantern and it charges it to 1,000%. Instead of like the normal 100%, you know, which is supposed to be like the max, you know, it pushes it to 1,000, which just shows how much greed, which is, I think, is kind of like a metaphor for the world. Like, you know, greed always seems to be the strongest. Like, you know, man is greedy, and I think that's kind of what they're playing on there. And they show that how greed is, you know. But I love the fact that the Green Lanterns fight him and stuff because it shows that greed isn't right. And I hope our viewers take that to heart. You know, don't be greedy. You know, and I love how they have that. Right. Your turn. You know, everyone's gonna think I'm gonna say Red Lanterns, but I'm not. And I'm not gonna say the Black Hand. You know, the Black Lantern. I'm gonna have to go with Parallax. You know, he is the Green Lantern's weakness. He is the embodiment of their weakness. He is the creature. Not only that, he is a guardian. You know, in the movie,
Only in the movie. He got ass whooped in the movie.
But you know, I'm gonna save that for a little bit later. I'm gonna put a pin in that. We're gonna wait a little bit, Johnny.
I'm gonna say at during a certain arc, Parallax took over a favorite Green Lantern of mine, and he tried to kill every living thing in the universe.
Talking about Hal Jordan?
Yeah. Hal Jordan became Parallax for a while.
Right. I remember reading that comic, and I was just like, oh my God, this is I honestly thought it was over. I thought, yeah, and I read that. I was like, oh, it's over. It's a bad day for DC.
You know, and then he tried to destroy the world, and then, the entire universe, and then he went, what am I doing? And he sacrificed himself to save everybody, you know, and at first, you know, he was like the worst bad guy that the Justice League ever had to face. And then at the end, he, you know, sacrificed himself to save everybody.
And then he came back as
that time. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I have to save Earth. But, he was, I think, one of the worst people to be possessed by Parallax. A few others have been possessed by Parallax, but they never took it as far as
just because
Hal
was so powerful, it made it a lot worse. And, you know, once the yellow kicks into the green, green's pretty much powerless. And it just how strong, you know, Hal is because he's able to defeat Parallax.
And his love for Earth and his family and his friends and everybody he's with.
And that's what I love about Hal. He doesn't just have love for Earth. Hal will go to any planet in any universe and automatically have sympathy for them and the love and the caring for them. And I think that's what makes him such a strong Green Lantern, because I don't have to know you. You know, I'm a Justice League member. I'm a Green Lantern Corps. You know, that's why he's so strong, because he has that automatic love for life, right, for everyone. And I would have loved to see him as like a White Lantern, like a permanent White Lantern, you know, because I don't think anyone loves life more than Hal, or celebrates life, or cares about other people's lives more than him.
That's a good point. Georgie, next question.
So wait, what being a White Lantern, is that pretty much like being like Jesus or something like that?
No, it's basically you enjoy life. You know, you celebrate life, you care about life, you know.
There are certain points where a White Lantern can give someone back life, but the ring normally is like, I'll determine if they're worthy or not.
And I think anyone Hal would want to bring back would be worthy.
One part of where that was shown in the comics is Dead Man finds a baby bird that had fallen out of his nest and died, and he picks it, and it comes back to life because the ring, you know, felt that he really wanted that baby bird not to be dead, and found that to be a worthy cause.
Are we talking about Hal Jordan, or are we talking about Jesus?
No, dead man.
Dead man. Dead
Yeah.
man did the same thing as Jesus, okay. What was that?
Next question, my friend.
Oh, okay. So, I'm guessing that I probably already know the answer to this, but who is the best Earthbound Green Lantern?
I think we've answered that already.
Yeah, that's why I
made
was
it pretty clear. I'm
I'm
going to say Hal Jordan myself. I don't know if they're going to agree with me or not.
Yeah,
But
just for the sake of saving grace. I agree with you.
Hal is my favorite, but if you go by the comics, he wasn't the strongest Earth Lantern. According to the Guardians and whatnot, it was Kyle Rayner was the strongest because he was the only Green Lantern able to host Ion, the green embodiment of will. It's like Parallax for fear, Ion for will. He was able to bond with him and become Ion, the strongest force of will in the universe.
And, I love Kyle Jordan, and I'm still going to put my money on him. But the one thing I do have to give Kyle Rayner was the fact that he smacked down Superman, and he was the first Green Lantern ever to create radiation that resembles kryptonite. And he was the first Green Lantern to do that.
Now, what does John Stewart have to bring to the table exactly?
He's a good Green Lantern. I've seen him do a lot of good stuff, but, compared to Hal and Kyle, he kind of fizzles out.
He's banging Hawkwoman. I have a little banging session every show, in case you don't know.
Well, later on, he hooks up with Vixen later on in the DC universe.
Yeah.
But the weird thing about that is someone who could see the future told Shaira and Jean that they had a kid in the future who was called Warhawk.
What?
I'm going to stop that here for a second, guys. I just wanted to shout out. We have a fan on Facebook who signed in, and she wanted to say hi to us. So, hi, Amy Dorsey.
Hey, Amy. What's up, Ames? Dorsal fin.
Hello, Amy.
And that's about it. All right, let's get back on topic.
Okay. So, yeah, basically, John really has nothing to really bring to the table except for being the only black dude.
No, he brings but compared, he fights a lot of natural disasters. That's what I love about his series in the comics. I've watched him fight tsunamis and save small villages from, tsunamis, floods, tornadoes, and that's what I really love about him, which is kind of cool.
Just a funny point. If anybody's ever watched the Justice League, and this is off subject, right? Just the breaks, you know what I mean? You ever watch the cartoon Justice League? You see the Flash and Batman. They can't fly, obviously, right?
Right.
You always see when it's time everybody else is flying away together, you always see John Stewart take the ball and pick those guys up and oh, fuck, I'm going to drag you guys. Let's go.
Here's my ball.
I always thought he makes the funniest faces when he does it. You don't really pay attention to things like that, but I do, and he just makes that face oh, God, I got to put you guys in a ball again. You got to drag behind me, basically.
You got to honestly admit, though, DC and Marvel both have a sense of racism to them. Look at the Avengers, all white this time. Green Lantern was the only chance of us having a black person in the Justice League, once again.
Well, it's not over yet. We're talking about in the Avenger episode, they might be saving Ant-Man and Wasp, Black Panther,
but not in the first
Moon Knight, and they might be saving them for a later movie.
And
not good enough to be in the first.
Nick Fury is black.
Yeah,
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson's and everything now. He's technically white by my opinion.
Yeah. Well, they're just going by superhero basis too. But in the movie, in the comics, Nick Fury was white.
Yeah.
And they chose a black man. So Marvel did.
Well, he was white.
Later on in the comics, he was black.
Yeah.
even given an eye patch.
I think
Original Nick Fury didn't have an eye patch.
I think John Stewart's a really good Lantern. Like you said,
Yeah,
he fights a lot of natural disasters. He saves a lot of people.
He saves a lot of lives.
He started out as a Marine and an architect. That's why his constructs are so, like, machine-like.
What I love the most about John Stewart is, like, I love watching Justice League episodes with him in it because he brings that military background to it. And, like, I love the episode when they, like, go back in time and they're fighting the Nazis and they have those giant machines. His lantern dies. His ring dies. It's out of power.
Mm-hmm.
He picks up a gun and starts fighting with the rest of the men. Doesn't miss a beat. I don't have my powers anymore, but I'm getting in this fight, and I'm going to F someone up. And he doesn't care. And he doesn't miss a beat.
That's the Vandal Savage episode.
Yeah, and he doesn't miss a beat. He's, you know, like, in all honest opinion, I think if Kyle Rayner lost his ring, he'd be like, oh, dude, I'm an artist. I'm getting out of here, you know? Like, sorry, dude, I have nothing to offer now that my ring is dead. And I think even, like, Hal Jordan, I mean, he's without fear and stuff, but I honestly don't see him fighting the Nazis at, like, a giant war. I don't see him jumping in that.
I don't see any fear in John Stewart.
He would still run up there and try to punch him out because
you got a gun, but I'm going to come punch you in the face.
Hal was a man without fear. He wasn't scared of anything. But he would run up there and throw rocks at him.
But Hal's not stupid. You know, he's not stupid. If I've seen 50 Nazis and I'm standing there and I'm going, dude, I got nothing to do, you better believe I'm not going to run up and go punch them in the face.
Right.
Or throw a rock.
There's a fine line between
will and courage.
Intelligence and bravery.
You know,
intelligence and bravery. There's a
But John Stewart immediately went back to that military background and automatically knew what to do, automatically picked up a gun and started shooting. And he took action. And I applaud you, John Stewart. I love you. You know, no hating, but mainstream, I don't see him as, you know, much of a, you know.
I mean, he's a gangster, but I mean, like, do you think he'd miss it? I mean, yeah, of course he has the whole no fear thing, but I mean, do you think he honestly should be a Green Lantern with the fact that he's willing to kill people? And Hal Jordan's, you know, pussy with that, you know?
Well, it's not.
Hal Jordan was an air fighter. Like, he was going to kill people too.
Pilot.
He was going to kill people too.
But the thing is, there's a time to kill and there's a time not to kill. If you kill in a time of war, and you do it only to protect your cause and your people, I honestly can't hold that against you. You're fighting for your country, you're fighting for your beliefs, and I applaud anyone who does that. But if you are a vigilante or someone who's just like, well, I'm going to kill you because I have that power over you, I can't condone that, you know?
Right. I believe it. I'm fine with you.
John Stewart, as a Lantern, didn't like to kill. There was one episode of the Justice League where he thought he destroyed a planet, and he was willing to be put to death in a court of law because he thought he'd blown up this planet.
It was just an illusion, though, but because
Flash was even like, you could get out of here easy. What are you doing? It's like,
I did it. He goes, I did it. I'm taking the punishment.
And just going back to the movies with Ryan Reynolds, there's a possibility they're making another Lantern movie. Yeah. They have John Stewart in it.
And the reason I think they did that is because they went with the first, Hal Jordan. I know they skipped, first, but he's not really the Lantern of the modern time.
I'm old school.
Yeah, and apparently, and he's from a different universe. He's from a different dimension.
Well, after the DC universe was destroyed and restarted, Alan Scott was in there.
Yeah. Okay.
They would talk.
Okay. Which was the first Lantern created out of all the rings and whatnot?
The first?
I think that'd be a good last question.
It was green.
Okay, well.
Talking about all the colors?
Okay, out of all the colors.
Yeah, it was green.
Okay. Well, I have one last one.
Already?
Okay.
We answer that quickly.
As the speedsters go to an afterlife, like the Speed Force, do the Lanterns have a similar, realm, since, their oaths are kind of resemble religious values?
I'll take that question. No, when a Lantern dies, they kind of like disintegrate in a way. Or no, not really disintegrate. The ring,
They are disintegrated.
the ring leaves them, and it automatically goes on a course to find the next person that's
Suited. The next best person within range.
And they don't have their own place like the speedsters.
So what? They
go to
Whatever
their belief is.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Awesome. Good job, Georgie. That was
Good job, George. Another good.
You're 2 in a row, buddy. You're 2 for 2 in the major leagues right now.
Great.
All right, and right now we're going to move to a new segment. We trade it out every once in a while now. We figured so. No Sidekick Sideshow today, but we do have
A new segment.
and it's a little racy. If you had the chance, who would you have sex with as a superhero?
You better get the best for me.
Catwoman. Already. I'm just going. I'm just going.
Why? Is it the black leather?
It's the old school Catwoman with the slit skirt and the cat o' nine tails.
Uh-huh.
God, I would love you, Rachel, to pieces. I hope you don't hear this. I would do horrible things to that woman, like horrible things. Not horrible good things. Not I'm gonna lock you up in the closet. You come out when I say. Not shit like that. But like, no, I'd be like, I don't even know. Okay, Catwoman, go.
Personally, you guys already know, Supergirl.
Oh.
I would do illegal things to her. Like, I would, That's all I'm going to say.
Johnny?
I would like to see what color her panties are. That's all I'm going to say. I bet they're super red.
Mine, it would be kind of hard, but she's always been one of my favorites, and that's Rogue from the X-Men.
Oh.
You can't touch her.
That's exactly why he said it's hard.
You better be in a plastic suit. Touch me, baby. Let's go.
Full body condom.
That brings up a question. Would a condom work?
You would be
If
able
you're
to
not
touch.
touching,
You would be able to touch.
you know,
You just be
just
doing
kind of like slit a hole in her, you know, and then kind of pull it out the zipper. We've all had one of those
Full
man.
body condom.
Wow. Full body condom.
latex gloves, you know.
You would fucking die in that thing.
You know, they have it all the time. Latex fetish.
Sweat.
Yeah, I mean,
In case.
you lose weight.
Georgie?
Wonder Woman's got too much power. Black Canary, if I made her like, then she'd do that. And but I definitely have to get hot girl just because I would slap some barbecue sauce all over that ass.
Man, you just pissed off both Greens. Green Arrow and Green Lantern. You better be watching out.
Wow. Well, that was fun. I think we should do that
That's
more
a good
often.
segment.
That's a good segment.
And, if you guys want to hit us up on Facebook with your, who would you
Superhero
be with?
fetish.
What superhero would you like to lay into? We, like to get on the
Male or female, by the way.
anyone, If I had to choose a dude, it'd be Superman. I'm just going to put that out there.
Good question. Okay, now I was going to say this, but do you think that by combining all those rings together, though, all the Green Lantern rings, do you think that you could create Captain Planet?
No.
We're going to have a show about Captain Planet. Thanks for ruining that.
Yeah,
sir.
thanks, buddy. We'll discuss it.
I'm messing with you. But we're gonna.
That's the weird thing you asked that.
Why?
Because there is someone who gets all the Lantern rings except black and white for a short time. And I'll tell you more about that later.
Good stuff. All right, we're going to move on to another one of my favorite segments.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite segments of the day.
George is playing with fire in this man cave.
Burning shit. And
Take Spider away.
Super Duper's going to have a little segment right here, and we call it the Super Rant.
And I want to look them straight in the eye, and I want to tell them what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is! Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Where's the Tylenol? We're going to need some after this.
All right, brother, preach on.
I hope you're ready, because it's going to be an epic one.
We're ready.
I'm going to stick to the theme, and we're going to discuss Green Lantern. I'm going to go ahead and start it. The movie pissed me off.
I knew it was coming.
Sorry. I mean, I love Ryan Reynolds. They did an amazing job with all the CG, all the characters. I loved every part of it. But you know what? I fell asleep. And I don't fall asleep in movies. The fight, I only fell asleep during the fight between Green Lantern and Parallax. It was boring. It was over so quickly. And I'm so mad that they didn't make that fight epic. I mean, it seemed like he had more trouble at the beginning with, like, the helicopter than he did with Parallax. Well, you remember when he turned it into a race car?
Yeah.
I think he had more problem with that than he did Parallax.
They had to fit his entire, like, legacy into 2 hours. Not even that, you know. I mean, they had to show how he became it and all this other stuff.
I have seen fights more epic in a shorter amount of time than that.
Such as?
Any one of those Superman movies.
They had to use a lot of
the Daredevil fight.
Use a lot of CG.
Elektra. That fight was over in seconds, but it was an epic battle.
God, that shit looks like a foot.
And I'm
It looks like a foot.
Jennifer Garner, she looks like a foot.
And I'm
Hashtag Twitter.
And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a
big old foot he is.
Yeah. But, and then why not touch more on the Sinestro and the yellow? I know they had it in there as an Easter egg at the very end, but you know what? If you're going to mess with Parallax, you should have brought Sinestro in and make it a good fight. I'm just saying, it pissed me off.
It should have encaptured the fans more with the yellow theater.
Exactly. And it didn't affect Hal at all. Not at all. And you're talking about a guy who wiped out planets before he got here. And he's going to be like, oh, 1 GL is going to knock. I'm sorry. I love Hal. He's a good Lantern, but sorry, buddy. I don't see it happening. First day on the job? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You gotta remember that Sinestro took a few Green Lanterns to fight Parallax, and he watched them all die, and he was like, I can't believe this. Some of my finest.
That's my point. That's my point. But Hal? The new dude? The new dude on the block? Come on. Makes me mad. I got props for Hal, but it made me mad. And I'm going to talk about one more thing on my little rant. Alan Scott. What the hell were they thinking when they made his weakness wood? I'm serious. Why?
What's the weakness?
The worst weakness in the world.
He's not Mega Man.
I'm sorry. Even Aquaman has a better weakness.
I mean, anybody says Aquaman, I laugh. I don't even...
And I'm just saying, like, seriously.
Sorry. Too much coffee.
Superman's, weak against the rock. Yeah, but it's a freaking alien rock from his home planet who has radiation. I'm just saying... Wood? Really? Pissed me off. Why?
They were probably,
I wish they were
thinking, people aren't going to be shooting wooden bullets at him or firing arrows. It'd be like regular bullets from guns and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can stop a bullet, but not a wooden club? Come on!
How many people back in the day would carry a wooden club? Maybe a baseball bat?
I would pick up a 2x4 and smack you in the face if it was laying there. You want the guns? No, but I have that wood right there that I'm going to spit in my hand.
I'm not nice.
No, but I'm just saying, wood is an abundance element on Earth. There's a lot of trees everywhere. There's GL. There's Alan Scott. Oh, I'm going to go get a branch. I'm going to beat him to death. And then I'm going to try to take a drink. Just saying.
Not everybody knew his weakness was wood.
That's true, but
it would become apparent.
How'd they find out, though? I mean, did they just,
They hit him with a club, and it went straight through his constructs.
I mean, was that one of the first things that they tried? Or did
it was in
try
the
after
first,
a while?
It was when he got his powers. It was the first fight. His weakness was revealed in the first comic.
That sucked. Yeah.
Kryptonite wasn't even revealed for another 20 comics, I do believe. if my memory serves me correctly. But that's all I've got for the Super Rant today. Tomorrow's going to be a good one, I promise.
That was good, too. Good job, buddy.
All right.
I sparred and burned a little.
You got to stop eating them beefy tacos.
We're going to Mexico for those burritos. We told you.
Buddy tacos. All right, we're going to move on to the next segment, and it's the Secret Vault.
Keep it secret. Keep it secret. Greetings, true believers.
All right, like everybody knows, it's a super secret vault. This is where we talk about a superhero, something secret about a superhero. And today, it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm excited.
It's going to be a little surprise. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so here we go. Bum, bum, bum. My secret is about Spider-Man.
Ooh. I heard about
And the interesting thing is, a lot of people know the first half of the story I'm going to talk about, but not the second half. Okay, in Amazing Fantasy 15 in the comics, Spider-Man's uncle Ben, gets murdered by a robber. Okay? Spider-Man hunts him down, beats him up, goes to prison, right? Okay? Future comics, years later, this is what nobody knows. Spider-Man kills somebody. Then this sticks with what you did yesterday, too. So, Spider-Man kills the guy that killed his uncle, and not a lot of people know that. It's he in the future comic, he finds out that the guy's out of prison, and the funny thing is, Spider-Man doesn't really kill him. Like, he doesn't touch him. Okay?
He just scared
What happens? No, yeah, basically, the guy that gets out of jail that killed Spider-Man's uncle, goes to Mysterio, which is the guy that has all the superpowers to make things imaginary and all that stuff.
Holograms.
And, yeah, holograms and stuff like that. And he teams up with the guy that killed Spider-Man's uncle, yeah. And basically what happens is Spider-Man figures it out, catches up with him, and then once he sees Spider-Man recognizes the guy that killed his uncle, and immediately just takes off his mask. And the guy has a heart attack on the spot. Like, he finds out he knows who it is because he remembers his face because he was there without being Spider-Man. So that's my secret for the day.
I love how you bring that up because I hated the Tobey Maguire movies.
That's how it was with Spider-Man.
They messed it up.
Yeah.
But they didn't show that part, and they didn't talk about it.
In the very beginning, they show that Spider-Man did scare a man, and he fell out of a window, and he died. But that was the wrong guy. That's not even the guy who killed Uncle Ben. You know, and I love how the movies messed that up. They didn't stick to the comics. They didn't stick to it, and it made me mad. I'm very excited to see the new Spider-Man movies because they have better casting, I do believe. I like the guy they have playing them. And I hope and I pray that they stick to the comics. And I hope we see that in there, that secret vault. I hope we see it in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. And I think we're going to take another break really quick because Man-Bat's stirring, and we'll get back to you guys. Make sure he doesn't wake up, all right? Just calm down. He's an animal. You can't hit an animal.
He's man-animal.
All right, what's up, guys? We're back. And the next segment, Nathan put down Man-Bat.
I hit him harder than I thought. Sorry, guys.
The next segment that I enjoy so much because I get to talk about villains. Personally, my favorite part of the show. That's just me because I'm greedy.
No, we all have our own
later. But it's villainous justification.
You filthy criminals.
I am the villain of the story.
Oh, no. Your old eyes do not deceive you, Brucey. After all, don't be better than you.
All right, welcome back. And today's villainous justification is, you heard him on the message, the Joker. Boom, boom, boom! I think he's one of the most epic villains in the history of comics.
He's definitely in the top
If
five.
not the most. He's my number one villain ever.
He's probably my number 3.
Okay, we'll go through. There's three things I want to talk about to get through this. The first one, we'll go newest first. Heath.
Number 2.
We'll go Heath Ledger.
All right, we got to take a moment for silence for Heath. Okay.
We'll go Heath Ledger. From what I understand from the movie, they don't really state. There's 2 different stories. It's kind of confusing. From what I understand, the concept of it was he had an abusive childhood. He watched his dad murder his mom. And then
The second one was his wife.
and he got in trouble with loan sharks. And but what I understand, they cut his face up pretty good. Hers.
Cut hers, and he did it to make her
make
feel like
his
she
look like
wasn't.
hers and make her feel like she wasn't alone.
Did anybody read the book, though? Late Night book?
It's the same as the movie.
It said there's another one that they said in there. I remember when I was reading it in Barnes & Noble, they said something else in there.
Well, and
Unless the God of knowledge.
the justification in that, in my mind, is he's doing, once again, it's for love. He feels, even though it's a psychotic way of looking at it, he felt sorry for his girl that he was in love with and wanted to show her it's okay. Like, look, I got it now too. We can do this together.
That raises the question. Do you honestly think that's what happened? Or do you think it was just another one of his stories that he's saying? Because Joker is a chronic liar.
Yeah.
I mean, he lies every day.
He manipulates you into thinking things that you would believe make him look good and nice.
Is it that he's trying to make you believe it, or is it that he believes it himself? Is he says it's right too?
That's another point. But my justification for him is he grew up in a messed up home. He basically, from what I understand, watched his family get murdered and crazy, psychotic family. Okay, and now let's go to the earlier books. The Joker, from what I understand, when the kid goes into a fit of rage at school, someone's messing with him. This is kind of eerie because it's kind of a similar situation you had, John, with that kid. Kills the kid at school when he's like 9 or 10. They put him in a mental hospital. He doesn't do anything but study, gets out, goes to college, studies biology, chemistry, psychology, and just goes through the whole list of things that basically he thinks is going to help him procure himself as a human being in the inner part of society, and ends up flipping a 180. So he feels that he should create chaos and anarchy on the rest of the world because he was standing up for himself, basically, in the comics. I think the justification in that is he was standing up for himself, but he took it a little too far.
Like most villains do.
Yeah, like, the justification in that is he was standing up for himself, and it's a young experience for him. He was a kid, and he was locked up and locked away for so long in psych ward, and then gets out into the world and just kind of shuts himself off from the rest of the world, and is like, oh, well, all of the world is like this. That's my justification for him.
That makes a lot of sense.
In that situation. And then the second one, well, the final third one is the Jack Nicholson Joker, which is also in the comics too, where basically Jack Napier is a gangster, and he's sent out on a mission, a fake mission set up by his overhead boss, and Batman shows up, knocks him off into a tank of acid, and creates the Joker.
By accident. I don't think he does it on purpose.
Yeah, I think he actually tried to catch him.
Yeah.
That's like he did with Two-Face, you know.
Batman tried as hard as he could, but he couldn't get to him.
Right.
Okay. I don't think there's any justification in that one, I'm just going to say. I know that's the name of the show, but he's a bad guy. He's a gangster.
Yeah. He got what he deserved, I think.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about calling, like, the Jester?
I don't know, probably.
I guarantee you they floated around with names on the Joker for a long time.
Yes. But mainly, I can't really justify him because of his craziness. But I'm just trying to version. The point of this show is to try and find a little bit of good in every bad person. And you see bits and pieces of it. If the stories are true, you know, that he's telling the truth, then that makes a little bit more sense, but probably not since it's the Joker, like George said, and he manipulates you into believing everything he says.
Yeah, I mean, I just never really got it. I mean, just throughout the ages, all the different Jokers I've ever seen, I just can never make my decision on if he's actually crazy or if he's just...
This raises a question. Who's your favorite Joker? What version? Out of the three you just named.
Well, there's Cesar Romero, too, in the original 66 Batman with Burt Ward. He was cool. Mm-hmm. He wasn't like he wasn't as psychotic. He was more like intellectual and fantasy cartoon type. But that's a tough
favorite though. Yeah, I don't think it's anybody's favorite.
George, you got one?
I mean, as far as like live action goes, I'd have to say Heath, of course, just because he went the craziest with it. But I mean, necessarily that kind of just been, Heath. It could have been also, mostly Christopher Nolan bringing it on him. But my favorite of all time, though, I mean, damn, I forgot what the hell the one book was that I read, but it was like Die Laughing or something like that. And I mean, this dude, like, this was the craziest Joker I think I've ever seen because he looked crazy. Face was all morphed and shit, and he painted all of Arkham Asylum with blood, and he just wrote "ha ha ha" on all the walls, and there's all these dead guards everywhere. So I mean, he was just insane. I love that about him. So
I'm not gonna go with the three I mentioned. I'll go with Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill,
just because his laugh is insane.
John, you got one?
Not really.
You mean Mark Hamill or the version that Mark Hamill plays?
The version that Mark Hamill plays in the car. We'll do. Okay, I'll take that back. Out of the three that I mentioned, I'll take Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson,
just because he's more in tune with the character Bob Kane had when he originally made him.
Right.
And Nicholson played like he was very cartoony and he did lots of gags.
Mm-hmm.
And like
I love that about him. Like, I wish they would have touched on that more in The Dark Knight. I understand that they go for more realism.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as you can with a superhero movie, but I did like how he did the whole pencil disappearing trick, and, and then at the very beginning he does the whole thread connected to a grenade thing. But I wish we would have seen the gags that's present in the comics. I do see Heath Ledger could have done that stuff. I mean,
maybe they tried and maybe it just didn't work out for him.
You know, I mean, I see it would have. I think it would have worked. And I think if they would have put time into it, they could have made it work. And I miss that about the Joker, and that's why I'm going to have to definitely go with the Mark Hamill myself personally. He did the gags all the time. Yeah, I know it was animated and it was a lot easier, but those were the fun ones for me. Those are the ones I always recall when you bring up Joker. That's what pops into my head.
The little kid that watched animated Batman.
He was the coolest bad guy I ever thought. You know,
right?
That's just me personally.
John?
I don't like clowns, period.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
All right,
moving it later.
Watching Pennywise. Moving right along, the next segment we have is epic fights in comic book history, and our epic fight of the day is going to be presented by our friend Johnny here. So, Johnny, what do you got, my friend?
I've got one. I'm not sure if it's kind of one-sided or not, but it's Wolverine versus Darkseid.
Wow.
Ooh, you're getting dirty.
That's a mean trick right there. That's freaking hard.
I'm going to put my money on Darkseid, he who shall be named, but
yeah, I'm not touching that.
Only because he's able to fight on par with Superman. I mean, actually, he's able to fight the whole Justice League. You know, it's until Superman cuts loose and stops holding back that he's able to shatter Darkseid, compared to Wolverine, who has a healing factor, but he can die. It's stated that Wolverine can die. I mean, even in World War Hulk, he dies. You know, Hulk kills him. And I'm just saying, Darkseid's hard ass. I mean, he is the embodiment of evil. His planet's named Apocalypse, you know, and he has swords and everything. That is, you have Wolverine who, you know, he's got the healing factor. It's awesome, and he has the, you know, the claws. But honestly, I bet all my pennies on Darkseid. Period. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Darkseid too.
Damn it! You said it.
Where's Darkseid from anyway?
Apocalypse. It's another planet.
Oh, I thought it's from the moon.
No.
Pink Floyd said it.
Georgie, who do you pick?
Darkseid. I mean, Wolverine doesn't really have any powers, man. I mean, like, he's kind of strong, I guess. You know, I mean,
Can't really die. He's got adamantium. Adamantium, yeah.
but put a magnet to him again, and then, you know,
Right.
bam.
Yeah,
I think, I'm like, not to be unfair, I think Wolverine would put up a good fight until Darkseid got mad, and then he'd be like, I'm done playing with you, little bug. I'm going
Right.
to
You
squish
were, you were a fun toy for a while, my friend, but it's time to end this charade.
I figured that was a little one-sided, so I had kind of like a small backup with one of them still in there. Hulk versus Darkseid.
That's really good, man.
That's a better fight in my eyes. You know, the Hulk is a beast. Like, he is a hard-ass on himself.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to put my money on Darkseid because Darkseid has more powers than just brute strength. Yes, Hulk has the healing factor as well. And I like how you stayed on that. But Darkseid is a tough mother. I mean, he has the heat vision. It's not even a heat vision. It's a death ray. It's described as the death ray. And disintegrates anything it touches. I mean, even Superman can't take that. You know, he hits it, but it hurts him, and it hurts him bad. And that's saying something.
It disintegrates everything except George Phillips.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys have any questions about or like epic battles in superhero history, right now would be the time to call in. We're going to move on to a new segment, but you guys can still call in, or if you want to message us on Facebook.
We'd love to hear your responses, what you think about the fights, or
Right.
if you have one for us, put it on there.
Yeah, put it on there, and we'll talk about it really quick. But
I found this out recently, though. You know, since we've been talking about Wolverine so much lately. Does anybody know who Darkfall is?
no.
It's a fusion of Wolverine and Batman.
I've dabbled in it,
in comics.
but
What is it?
it's with
Ant-Man.
Marvel and the DC fused together to create one being.
That's pretty cool.
It's a crazy-looking thing, man. He looks
That's really
He
awesome.
does look cool, but in a world where it happened, I don't think it would last. You're talking about two clashing personalities coming together.
Yeah.
Putting somebody's bloodlust into someone who's not.
Who's calm and collective.
Go to it and defeat
Cool
it.
idea.
Go cheat it.
But they become a different person with a different personality, and they take the personality of the person who's the main person. Like Gogeta would be Goku. That's why they have the personality of Goku. But you turn around and you have Vegito, who has the personality of Vegeta. Sorry, we got off topic there.
Yeah,
But
that's okay. Well, like I said, if you guys want to call in, that's fine. Just go ahead and leave us a message on Facebook, too, if you'd like. We'll get to it. But we're going to move on to a new segment here, and our friend Nathan's going to do, and it's called, What's Your Favorite Superhero Gadget?
that's right. Doesn't have to be a little gadget. It can be the Batmobile, something extravagant like the Phantom Zone gun, anything. So if you want to call in, let us hear your response to it, or if you want to Facebook us about it, we'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, what your favorite gadget is. We'd love to, hear what our fans have to think. But let's go ahead and start with George. He's kind of the new person in the group, and I would love to hear his favorite gadget.
Here's your favorite gadget.
Amongst all the superheroes, all the supervillains, what's going to be your favorite toy?
The Iron Man suit.
The Iron Man suit itself.
That's a gadget.
That's a gadget. I mean, there's no hand.
That's a good one. I don't
That's
think
a good
I
one.
can top that one.
You don't think you're going to top that one?
Let it go this way. Get
All
up
right,
there.
John, what's up?
I myself, I'm going to go with the Green Lantern ring from, nowadays.
Wow.
Because that's technologically made by the Guardians.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. You guys are taking it straight to Powers. You know, you guys suck.
You guys are going right with
If you dicks. All right, Parks, what's up, buddy?
No, you.
Oh, me? Oh, I get to go straight to it? Okay. This is going to sound weird, but I've always loved it. It excites me every time I see it. Joker's flower. That's all.
That is pretty good.
Joker's flower has acid, the acid, the gas. I mean, he has so many different things he does with it. It excites me every time I see it. I'm like, what's going to come out of it? Is it going to be acid? Is it going to be gas? Is it going to be, you know...
Man-flute?
Is it going to be anything? I mean, it can be anything. And I'm going to have to go today. Today I'm going to give my props to Joker and his flower.
I'm going to give him mad props.
Mad props, because he's a mad addict.
What if it was legit acid, though? That he spit out of there, and next thing you know, it hits Batman, and he just trips balls, and he just sits there. Oh, my God.
That would be funny. I would like to see that. But, all right, Parks, you got a good one. You got a good one.
I don't think it's a winner, but I think it's a decent one. The Penguin's umbrella.
Oh, that's really good.
Because it's a machine gun, it's a knife, it's a sword, it's a propeller, it's a helicopter, it's a grenade launcher, it's a bird caller, he calls birds with it, and it's fashionable. And it's something you can break in with. He uses it as a bow and arrow in an episode. He swims with it. Like he uses it like a shield. He uses it like a shield to protect himself from Mr. Freeze.
I want one.
That's a good one, you know. That's a good one, but it's time to decide who has the best gadget of the day.
I think Iron Man suit, hands down. That's the best gadget.
Actually, we should leave that up to our listeners.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
You guys tell us who won.
You tell us who you think won.
Picked the Iron Man suit.
Yep.
Johnny picked the new Green Lantern ring made by the Guardians. Nathan picked
Joker's flower.
And I picked the Penguin's umbrella. So you guys tell us online or via phone who you think won and why.
And we'll get to those results tomorrow. On tomorrow's show, we'll let you know who won the gadget battle of the day.
And if you pick the right person, who knows, someone might send you a comic book.
Dun, dun, dun.
Or an apple. You might get an apple.
Or a George hug.
Yeah.
It's going to be naked, just so you know. Fair warning. When George has a hug, it's going to be naked.
It's a naked midget hug. It's going to be down.
And whoever saw the Green Lantern, pictures on that Facebook, they obviously know that I have camel toe now. So I mean,
You guys didn't know we've had no effing sleep, and we were taking pictures in costumes and making videos with John's Harry Potter wand.
You've got to check out our YouTube. You got to check out. We can't really explain it. Just go look at the video. Hit us up with your comments. It's going to be funny. I promise you'll laugh. I mean, we are crazy. We are slap happy. You guys are going to love it.
Absolutely.
And you're going to love the pictures. We also have a motivational picture on our Facebook. Hit it up because George has a motivation. Can't wait to see your responses on that.
What?
This is my...
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, we're going to move on.
Never mind.
Next is the comic review. It's that time of the show where we're winding down. Talk about the good stuff, the honeypot of the show. Some Golden Age comics. All right. And, I don't know, let's do a poll. We got some characters coming up. We've been sticking with the Justice League superheroes. I want to hear who you guys want to talk about next, because I picked the last couple people, and I don't want to be soft.
Personally, I would love to talk about Colossus and nobody else, but we can't do that.
Justice League.
Yo, you want to talk about Justice League? Okay, I see. All right, I see.
Anybody from Justice League?
Okay, we've done...
How do we do it?
We've done Superman. We've done Flash. Today is Green Lantern. This is going to come strange coming from me, but I want to hit Batman. I mean, our first show was about the Dark Knight, and everyone's going to think that was our Batman show, but that wasn't nothing.
It was just me and George talking about that.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I want to personally hit Batman. I mean, there's a lot we can talk about Batman. I mean, he is Golden Age comics. Him, Superman, all them,
What do you think, Johnny? What's your vote? I'm going to smack you with that too.
I'm going to throw that.
Out of the Justice League, I'd probably choose next. I mean, well, all right, starting with any Justice League, you should have done ladies first, so I'm going to go with Wonder Woman.
Oh, God, I see that. We're not gentlemen now.
Well,
Too late to go back now.
George one over there, who now?
What?
Justice League.
Who do you want to talk about next?
Martian Manhunter.
Ooh, another good one. So you're the tiebreaker.
I'm the tiebreaker. Man.
Out of the three with names, who do you want to talk about?
You know I'm going with Batman.
Yep. High five.
You know I'm going with Batman. I mean, he's my favorite superhero. So tomorrow, we'll be talking about the Dark Knight, Gotham's greatest hero, the blackness that lives on top of the city, that hangs out with gargoyles. He's their best friend, Batman.
Superman's a good friend.
Yep.
For being the Dark Knight, why was he never dark then?
Oh, he's dark.
Oh, he was dark.
He started golden age. He started out in the black.
He was black?
No.
He has to be dark.
Thunder.
What would he be if he was black, though? Would he be like
The
Dark
Midnight
Knight?
He'd be the Midnight Knight.
That's racist. I'm black.
There's no racism on this show. All right, we're going to go to the comic reviews. We're going to do Batman tomorrow. That's exciting. So we'll talk a little bit about some Batman comics. If you guys want to pick up any Batman comics, me being a Batman fan, there's a little burp there. Me being a Batman fan, personally, the best Batman comics to get, I think, are from The Brave and the Bold. Because staying on the subject with Superman, Flash, he has a cameo with all those guys in there. So if you guys want to get those, get any of The Brave and the Bold. And then pick up the new Robin comic. Because it's kind of funny. Robin actually fights Batman, and he kind of smacks him around a little bit. Kind of tells him, look, man, I'm sick of you hanging over me like a shadow, and I want to go do my own thing. I know you're trying to help me, but back off for a little bit.
Getting tired of being called Robin, dude. I want to be called the Cardinal. Yeah, I mean, just...
And then...
This guy grows sometime, though, man. I mean,
right. And then, also, if you get a chance, pick up any old Golden Age Batman, like anything Detective Comics. I would say if you get a chance, obviously read Detective Comics number 27, because that's one of the first ones, well, the first time you ever see Batman. You have to get online to read that one because it's rare to find. And then read Nightfall, because that's the movie that's coming up for The Dark Knight Rises, and it's really shocking. The whole thing together is really good. So,
I also want to add a little bit to the comics review. It was the year of my birth, 1986. The Dark Knight Returns, in a mini-series, and it's called... Crap, I lost it. The Dark Knight Returns. I actually said it already. Awesome. It's a mini-series. You should really hit it up. It's, heck, it's the return of the Dark Knight. I mean, hit it up. It's going to be good. If you have those, I would like to see them, so send them to me.
Anytime. If you guys want to call in and talk about Batman tomorrow's the day to do it. I know there's tons of Batman fans out there. Call in and talk about Batman. There's endless information inside this kid sitting behind the computer right now about Batman, and all these guys too. So
was Batman Beyond just the TV show, or was it also comics?
There was comics.
There was comics.
That'd be good. That's the same.
Yeah, that's a good point, George. Read some Batman Beyond. Read some Batman Beyond about Terry. He's one of my favorite Batman.
Agreed.
He does a good job. I really wish they would have done more with that series. But read some of those. Pick up some Batman Beyond.
It's not too late.
All right, and we're going to talk a little bit about sports now. The Chicago Bulls play today against the Philadelphia 76ers at noon Central Time here in Southern Illinois. So hopefully Derrick Rose comes out and dominates and we get a Bulls win. And
we know we're going to.
Yeah.
Oh, let's make it, clear.
Lou Aldang plays good. Derrick Rose plays good. Noah plays good. Boozer plays good. It'll be a good day. But the thing is, if the 76ers win the first game, it transfers back to Philadelphia and the Bulls lose home field advantage, basically. And that sucks because it's hard for the Bulls to win in Philadelphia. So praying for a first win Because if not, it's going to make it a lot harder trip. And Philadelphia is a good team.
Stop being so negative. I mean, Bulls have been having a great season.
A positive aspect,
you know,
a negative situation.
They've been rocking the tits.
Oh, yeah.
And
even with Derek,
they're going to keep going strong.
I talked about that a little bit. He's been hurt a good portion of the season, like 26 games. The people on the bench have been coming through and playing awesome is what led them to where they're at now. So, guys, keep that going. Root on the Chicago Bulls. If you're not a sports fan, touch yourself.
Keep them in your prayers.
All right. Oh, we got 15 minutes to do whatever we want. Let's just freelance talk about it.
Oh, my God. Let's talk about some random superness.
I think it's nerd time. Let's just go.
Let's just talk. Let's have a normal conversation. Fans, you're going to get to see what happens behind the camera, what happens when it's off. We're just going to talk.
I do have a question.
George had a Green Lantern camel toe.
Yeah, that's it. You know. What do you want to say, John? You have something on your mind?
As far as moral fiber goes, with you know, like
that pancake,
DC and Marvel, they both try to influence a lot of moral fiber. Like, oh hey, you know, never kill anybody, blah blah blah. I think that like they really try to go with the whole, you know, white American aspect of, you know, mentality for everybody. You know, like they just try to make everybody like, you know. Like Superman, you always talk about, you know, heaven and whatnot and stuff like that. You know, I mean, what about those that don't have religion? You know, I mean,
there's a lot of superheroes that don't touch on religion at all.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about religion.
Yeah, let's not. No,
I don't want to do it.
No,
because it's about comic books.
And yeah, we're talking about comics.
Not to be mean.
Yeah. And it's not really so much of a racism thing. What they do is they try to instill right amongst the fans. You know, killing is wrong. Mm-hmm. It's the law, and they try to show that. Yeah, sometimes almost every superhero has killed someone.
And to be fair, Marvel has like dark side, but you know, it's funny. Half of the people that write for Marvel now, that do Marvel comics, are black people.
Yeah.
Or Indians.
But not black.
They're black.
No, they're not like
white chocolate.
No, they're like from Detroit. Like,
yeah, they're.
I'm in a bad situation. I'm going to college. I'm getting myself out of here.
Yeah, they have some pretty epic.
No, they're that dark. Like,
if they get out and go to college, they're white chocolate.
Not really.
That's the worst thing to say. That is like
that's horrible.
Lil Wayne, he's black. Okay.
No, he's not.
You totally
You say that because he raps. I mean, because you rap doesn't mean you're black. I'm not going to dog on any black person who goes to college. I'm not going to call them white chocolate.
Right.
They are bettering themselves. Congratulations to anyone who goes to college. I'm not going to stick on black people. The point. This is a ridiculous topic. I'm just saying.
The point is, racism is a horrible thing.
Yeah, anyone who's racist is kicked in the tank.
It's stupid. We went through a whole era of fighting about it. Why worry about it now? Everyone has peace and harmony with each other.
That's true.
I do.
I don't look at Justice League. If there are black people on the team, they get along. Why do we have to fight about it?
The reason I'm bringing this up is that yesterday I went to go take a shit in the Rural King bathroom because I work there. Mm-hmm. And naturally in the bathroom I had KKK carved in with a knife into the walls. And it also
that's because they're good rednecks.
I hate, you know,
redneckers.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, but this is Southern Illinois. There's so many. I don't want to go on this because I feel like it's a touchy subject.
I feel like we're going to offend someone, and I think we should change the subject.
There's a lot of people around here that don't believe
I watch a lot of Bill Maher, dude. I'm used to
good moral fiber of America. And it's America. You have the right to freedom of speech and your own thoughts, but some of it sometimes is just crap. And you should just shut it up.
Anyone who's racist needs to get punched in the taint.
By a black guy.
And that's it. Whoever you're making fun of needs to punch you in the taint.
Yeah.
If you make fun of Indians, you need to get kicked in the taint by an Indian. If you make fun of whites, you need to get kicked in the taint by a white person. I'm just saying, you make fun of people, anyone, fat, skinny, racism, religion, you make fun of anyone, you need to get kicked in the taint.
Favorite comic?
Favorite comic? Superman, hands down. I'm talking Golden Age, Action Comics. That's my favorite. There's nothing better. I mean, I become a giddy little schoolgirl when I see one. I'm not joking. Like, I happy for hours.
Johnny, favorite comic? It's Green Lantern.
Green Lantern all the way. Any specifics?
Pretty much any with Hal.
Any Hal? What about you, Georgian boy?
No Batman. I mean,
You Batman?
Yeah.
Any specifics? Any series? Any?
not really. I mean, I wasn't rich enough to afford comics when I was little. Just saying, I mean, everybody else does too, apparently, but I wasn't, you know, I mean, I'm just saying.
Joker versus Lex Luthor. And that kind of busts into this.
Yeah, the epic fight of the day.
But that was mine. Just because you get to see both bad guys going against two epic villains going against each other.
You know what I love the most when I see stuff like that? When Joker and Lex Luthor are in the same series?
Mm-hmm.
I love when they switch superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Joker takes on Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman doesn't know how to handle it. He's like, what the hell? How do you put up with this? He has nothing. What is going on?
That's another thing I love about Batman. I think he has the most ridiculous supervillains out of all the people.
I think his are the craziest. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they just have a way of being crazy and knowing how to attack you mentally
in situations that are out of this world. And I don't see, that's what's so amazing that he gets out of it.
Yeah, that's what's awesome about him. And I understand why they, like, his bad guys are like that. Because, you know, I'm not taking away from Batman, but he doesn't have powers.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to give him and his bad guys a spin.
I'm Batman.
But, you know, going back to Superman, he has the most powerful bad guys. I mean,
yeah,
they're the most powerful.
He has to be.
They have to be. They have to be overpowered bad guys.
If you had any superpower, what would you make?
Invulnerability.
Invulnerability?
Invulnerability. That's it.
You mean like Wolverine vulnerability?
No, I'm talking
or like Vandal
Superman invulnerability.
Savage.
Vandal Savage can be injured. He can be cut. He can bleed.
He can set a mouth that's going to grow back.
Yeah. My point is, I want invulnerability. I want to be in the middle of a bomb and come out no scratches.
John, superpower. Total shape-shifting. That's cool. Ooh, kind of like a doppelganger?
Or are you talking like Martian Manhunter shape-shifting?
I mean, being able to turn into anything, like furniture, people.
So furniture. So like Martian Manhunter. He wants to turn into a toilet for a chick. I'm telling you.
Any superpower?
Totally be the Green Lantern, not the Green Lantern, but the Greed, Orange Lantern, because obviously you don't need
right on it, dude. That's awesome.
You don't need freaking lantern to charge all the time. I'm be a biatch about. I mean,
you made a monster. You see what you did?
You basically just
made a monster, telling him about.
You were talking about Orange Lantern, never did.
You was like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna create something that's gonna free up my freaking mind. And then bang,
you get a Marine.
If I had any power, I'd have the power to go back in time.
But by doing that, you risk the butterfly effect. I mean, what would you do?
Go back and correct mistakes. Go back and see.
With your life or with history? Because if history, I mean, you may never be born if you go back and change something epic.
Just the power to go back in time without changing or anything or affecting anything.
So with like a chrono shield.
Like just be able to save people and change. Like you could change time, but it would be more if you knew that you did something bad, you can go back and change it and do positive aspects on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
if you let that person die.
If you wanted to meet that girl, keep going back.
Right, and change it. Oh, so you're like Nicolas Cage, I totally want to see what happens next,
Well, if you went back too far and end up farting one day or something like that, the next thing you know, that's not it.
It'd be so fun because you could go back and punch that bully. You could go back and tell that teacher, hey,
go back and tell my kid self, don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
Don't light fire to that mattress. Don't jump out of that tree.
Don't break your limbs.
Wait, what's all those tree talk? You guys trying to take a shot at me right now? Huh? Towards the jungle? Huh, motherfucker?
Yeah. All right.
There's only one problem with that, the temporal paradox. You can't consciously change the past, because if you do that, then you would not
affect the future.
You would not go into the past to change it.
All right, I got a question. Favorite X-Men?
Ooh.
I'm dirty. I don't know.
Gambit.
Gambit.
Yeah. Just because he's got that swag. Like, he's like,
It's the accent.
You're
attracted to the
I know. I'm not attracted. I'm just, the bow staff is cool. I have an affinity for people like Robin. I love Robin to death. He has a bow staff. Anybody with a bow staff.
So you're a
Donatello fan.
Yeah. All right, Georgie, what's up, bro?
Well, we talked about this the other day, and Gambit, yeah, I mean, as far as the X-Men goes, but I definitely have to say as far as the entire series goes.
That goes into the question. That goes into the question. John? Favorite X-Men character? Doesn't have to be good or evil.
I have, like, mainly 3, and it's always been the same order. It goes Rogue, Gambit, Wolverine.
So you're Rogue. Everybody's been Rogue. I can't answer this question.
Captain Colonel Sanders?
I can't answer this question.
Yeah, stroke that.
It's tied. I can't decide. It's between Colossus and Nightcrawler.
Fucking Colossus, man.
Dude, they are perfect. I mean, I love their accents. I love their character background. Each of them have this background. They have that background, that history. Both of them, they have that deep, rich background. Like, you've got Colossus, and, in Russia, his sister, his family's all sick, and then his brother, becomes the leader of, the sewer people, and, like, he becomes evil, and then his sister becomes Majik, and then Colossus turns around and he dies, saving all of mutant kind, and I love him for that. But then you turn around and you got Kurt, Wagner, and he's the, mutant Stachys, and, like, I love his story. I mean, he's got, fucking shit parents. I mean, he's got Azazel for a dad and Mystique for a mom. 2 of the most evil X-Men there are, and he turns out to be one of the best X-Men there is. And, like, he has such a rich background. Like, my favorite comic is, the story of Nightcrawler, where, he's thrown into the river, and he's found by gypsies, and he was raised to be in a circus. And I love it because he becomes a trapeze artist. I mean, that's why he gets all the gymnast and acrobatic stuff that he has. Mm-hmm. And he's in love with the girl who does it with him, and she loves him too, regardless of the blue skin. But the minute she falls and he teleports to her and saves her life, she changes, and she doesn't love him anymore. She calls him a freak, and he has to run. And his adopted brother, tries to kill him, and he has to kill his brother. I mean, I love the deep backgrounds on both of these characters, and I can't pick.
All right, last one. If you had to be a sidekick or supervillain, who would it be?
Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor. Why?
Lex Luthor is powerful. He's just. He's bald. He is evil. I mean,
he looks like a wing.
If you've ever seen his sidekick, Mercy.
His brain is ridiculous.
She is the Toads McGoat. And if I could have, be his sidekick, I would love it. I mean, that's who I would be.
For
a villain.
I mean, what?
Sidekick for a villain. Sidekick for a villain.
I'd have to go along and be like the sidekick for probably Galactic. Galactus.
Oh my God, that's a good one.
Can you imagine that?
You become the Silver Surfer. Georgie?
Oh, because I want.
You would be Harley Quinn's assistant.
I want that ass. Yes, I would be her assistant. I want that ass.
She's awesome.
So you're an assistant to an assistant.
I would make her be that. She would get on her knees and tell me that she loves me. Okay, I'm just saying.
All she would think, and Joker hits you with the flower.
All she wants,
catch of the day.
All she wants is cooking.
All right, what's up, Park?
I don't care.
I would have to say Venom.
Venom. Oh, you dirty.
Yeah.
What? Dirty.
Venom, he's cool.
You become Carnage.
Yeah.
There are other symbiotes besides Carnage.
Yeah, we got about 2 minutes left here.
Who's more Super Mario or Sonic?
Sonic. Why? Sonic the Toastmagos, he actually has like real powers. He doesn't have to find his magic flower or a feather.
If you want to go get some awesome comics, go to ComicConnect.com. Get on there. They got some old school Golden Age, Silver Age comics. Get online and check them out. And just go to Chicago if you're in town. Drop in there.
Be like, hey, Just Us League sent us.
I thought of another one to replace Rogue in Sex with a Superhero.
Hurry up.
Mystique.
You're dirty. So she could look like Rogue? She could look like get away with that.
Change.
That'd be dirty. If you shoot me with that, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Put that thing down.
That's a BB gun.
Just so you know, George is pointing a gun at us, so it's like you hear her screaming, that's why.
I'm only pants off.
But yeah, I think we're going to call this one a show.
All right, bye, guys. Love you.
It was good talking to you. Tomorrow's back. All right. Well, we love you guys. And
tomorrow.
May the force be with you.
Good night, Gotham City. And good night, Metropolis.
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh, that was fun. That was great.
Yeah.
I'm so slap happy it's retarded.
You guys gotta go all the way to Australia.
Yeah, no.
George is jacking his teepee. It said it wants your ball.
My phone wants your toe. It wants
to gurgle your junkie.
Your cash and prizes.
Your bag of treasure.
As long as it looks me in the eyes and it tells me it loves it.
It wants your pussy boots.
Wants to get that food.
All right. Oh, man, we totally need to get toast tomorrow.
I agree.
I think we're thinking of the same person. I'm not going to tell you because I know you're listening, you dirty people.
Fucking shit.
But we're going to work on that, and hopefully this special guest will come in, and he probably will trump all of us in Batman. Not me.
Hit, Batman.
Batman.
No. Batman.
All I'm going to say is you know who you are.